Morning, everyone. Thank you to the organisers and IBRI for inviting me to speak today. It's a great honour and a privilege. I am Euan Cameron, a data-curious systems thinker and the CEO and founder of Cohesion Medical. What Cohesion does is make health more affordable, more accessible, and more inclusive. Our systems seamlessly connect citizens with services and sciences to make citizens more empowered, services more efficient, and sciences more innovative. I'll explain a bit more of that later. So why am I here? Why have I travelled 3,717 miles to come to Indiana? Why have I come to Indianapolis 4 times in the last year? Why am I going to the Midwest when everyone tells me to go to the East Coast for life sciences and the West Coast for tech? Well, there are great things about Indiana. There's a great welcome. Hoosier hospitality has made me feel this is my home, which I really appreciate. There's great openness, whether it's from the IBRI or Kristen Jones. I should give a shout out from the Indiana Health Forum, who invited me over here in the first place. And there's also a great vision, a great sense of purpose to make change happen in health, and that really appeals to me. And I can see synergies with Scotland. We are the same size of population, around 6 million. We have a very remote and rural population spread across our land, and we share many of the same common health problems. So I should ask first, I hope you're coping with my accent, because I spent 3 days in Boston and they actually thought I was German and English wasn't my first language. So if you are struggling, just imagine this is an episode of The Simpsons and I'm Groundkeeper Willie. And just sit back and relax. So let me tell you something about Scotland. Is this the slide? Sorry. Yep, that's perfect. There's the green one. Okay, thank you very much. So Scotland is amazing. We have amazing history. And if you've seen movies like Braveheart and Netflix series like Outlanders, you realise we love a battle. Usually with England, and when they're not available, usually with ourselves. We have amazing scenery, castles, mountains, lochs, and glens. We have amazing whiskey, Highland, Speyside, Islands, and my particular favourite, like Islay. And we have amazing golf. As your president knows, he's bought 2 of our best golf courses. But we also have some of the oldest universities in Europe. We have 2 in the top 10. We have more universities per capita than any other country in Europe. And we have more university graduates than any other country in Europe. Before downloads, we had more bookshops and people read more books in Scotland than any other European country. We are an educated people. And our innovations have changed the world. From the invention of logarithms to television, from the discovery of penicillin and the first cloned animal, Dolly the sheep, which was developed in Edinburgh, we have a strong tradition in science, engineering, maths, and medicine. We also have a state-run health system. We have individual cradle-to-grave health services. We have an individual identity for patients that takes us through our cradle-to-grave system. And we have 70 years of population health records from this system. And we have almost 600 years of local ancestry records as well. We have lots and lots of data. I hope you see where this is going. Maybe not where you expected. Scotland is the unhealthiest country in Europe. And this upsets me. In fact, it makes me quite angry. How can this be when we are so educated and so innovative with what appears a perfect health system, that we have got such a sick population? So, if I can give you some ugly facts. We have the lowest life expectancy in Europe, bar occasionally Portugal for men, who occasionally outdo our male life expectancy, but that alternates on an almost yearly basis. We have an ageing population, and ageing in the UK is spelled with an E, with complex needs and high multimorbidity. Our biggest killers are chronic diseases like diabetes, heart failure, COPD, lung cancer, and dementia. And we've got an increasing rate of obesity, depression, and suicide rate, particularly in our male youth. Interestingly, we also have more drug-related deaths per capita than the USA. And to put that into a European perspective, that's 3 times more than the nearest other country, which is Sweden. So we've got serious health and social inequalities. We have a fragmented health and social care system, and most of our land is remote and rural, a bit like Indiana. Our government tries to solve this problem by throwing huge amounts of money at it, and now our national budget, 51% is now spent on health. So how do we transform this situation? Our health system is broken. A system of disconnected parts held together by people. A process that is manual and not data-driven. A culture that resists change and fears the introduction of new technology. We need to do something, and we need to do something different. So if we look at the traditional supply chain, which has been talked about a lot earlier, we have researchers experimenting with small data sets, pharma conducting trials with small patient cohorts, healthcare struggling to buy medicines with small budgets, and patients, the small guy, getting medicines not designed for them. This chain takes a long time and a lot of money and produces low success. Everyone is unhappy. What can we do? Well, maybe we should put the citizen at the center of things. Imagine an individual's life journey and that trajectory, from maternity to child health, to young person's mental health, from trauma, emergency care, to cancer, from long-term conditions to dementia and end of life. Why not frame our technologies around the citizen and the services and products around them? Why not connect their needs across their lifespan? Why not capture real-world data from the citizen, from their environment, and the services they receive? Imagine the volume and the variety of big data we could capture. And we could use this to create services that are more preventative, products that are developed faster, are more relevant and individualized to the consumer, citizen, and create citizens and communities that are healthier. We might even be able to do some decent AI with it. So all sounds dandy. But how do we build this? Over the last 15 years, Cohesion has been building a system for connected citizen health to seamlessly connect citizens to services and sciences. So if I can describe this a bit, we've built a digital health wallet for citizens, offering a means to manage lifelong health and wellness, to interchange with their needs as they grow older throughout their life, the ability to use multiple services for multiple conditions and have that wallet interchange as that person goes through their lifetime. We've built an integrated care platform for services to provide a unified data view of when that citizen is presented at that service. In Scotland, we've been piloting this with primary care, secondary care, tertiary research care, nursing care, community care, social care, and now extending it into charity support as well. We believe this brings these services together to work much more collaboratively, coordinatedly, and efficiently. And now we've created this communication between the citizen and the service. And this allows researchers to use our data insights generator to extract real-world data analytics in real time to enable research insights into population health and precision medicine. And what we can now do is put our system into a simulation mode. So we've now populated the citizen side with 6 million synthesized citizens data that we've extracted from open data sources in Scotland. We've created an entire health and social care system on the services side that reflects our current setup in Scotland. And we're now in a position where we can do what-if scenarios to find out where we can transform health and build better business cases with that relationship of citizens communicating with data through synthesized data. But what is also interesting is we can switch this into live mode. And we've deployed our system within our National Health Service, creating this synchronized communication between citizens and services to generate this new data superhighway. It is interoperable based on industry standards, and we now have third-party apps, devices, sensors, and other data sources connecting into this. We have it working across a range of citizen services touchpoints. I was asked to bring a video today, and I declined because I thought the last thing you would want to see is a 4-minute video with lots of screenshots. But on the way over, in the flight from Scotland, I watched the inventor, the story of Elizabeth Holmes and Theranos, and I suddenly realized, there is something about being startups and having to fake it till you make it. I don't know whether it's the reserve of a Scottish background, but we've been brought up to make it and then really make it. And I really wish I'd been able to show you that video just now, but we have it with us. So if anyone likes to have a view of it, we can have a chat in the foyer afterwards. But to give you some quotes from people that have seen what we've done, in Indiana, some CEOs of healthcare providers, they described it as the NHS in a box, a national health service in a box. And what surprised me was how open they were to that concept. And indeed, one of the stories, comments that were made to me was, it was like looking at the first iPhone. Rather than having separate phones, cameras, music, photos, we could see all this happening on one device or in one system. So to give you some use case examples from Scotland, with population health, we have worked with real patient data for 25,000 patients with COPD and heart failure. And what we did was show, when we combined that with some real-world data from the patients, that there were cheaper social interventions at home that could work better than building a new emergency care department. That was good for our government, less so for the professor who wanted to run the emergency care department. With healthcare, we've worked with our national hospitals to show how our smarter appointment booking, scheduling, and resource management system can improve workflows and reduce waiting times. With precision medicine, we worked on one of the first, in fact, I don't think it was even called precision medicine when we first worked on it 10 to 15 years ago, but it was one of the first precision medicine projects in the UK on inflammatory skin conditions. And we showed we could capture 10,000 data points for that project. Now, if we were to do that project again, we can show we can capture 1 billion data points. We're also working across population health, healthcare, and precision medicine with some other projects. We have partnered with Alzheimer's Scotland, our national agency for people with dementia, to create digital signatures for early detection of dementia and Alzheimer's, to improve clinical services and care and support, and to accelerate new drugs discovery. And we do all this with a wide range of technology. We are cloud-based, interoperable, scalable. From the start, we designed our platform to be global, to be able to be regionalized, localized, and individualized. We planned from the start that if we could make it work in Scotland, we could make it work in America, Europe, Middle East, Asia, and Africa. So we can see Scotland and Indiana have many synergies. We have 6 million people, we have rural and remote communities, and we have common health challenges. If we can harness our synergies, together we can disrupt health with big data and build better health experiences for everyone. Thank you for listening. Please reach out to me during the break or by email or LinkedIn. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.